Hi, I'm Ryan, and in this episode of DIY Painting, I'm going to show you the method I use to fill grain on oak cabinets. This is a method that I worked through about 10 years ago. I've used it literally on over 200 sets of cabinets, and I've never gotten a call back on it. And it fills the grain better than any product I've tried. It's cheaper than any product I've tried, and it's faster than any product I tried. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you on a door here exactly how I go about filling the grain for my clients. The most common call I get for kitchen cabinets is painting oak cabinets. Typically that golden oak that was done very often in the 90s, early 2000s, and then I get a lot of those dark 80s cabinets too. And they want the oak filled. They don't want that deep graining that comes with oak. And if you don't fill that oak grain, it'll show up as contrasting divots in there. So like shadows and holes, and it just looks terrible. I know sometimes people go for that graining look on different styles of finishes, more that country kitchen, stuff like that. But 99 times out of 100, my clients want it filled. And it's actually incredibly easy to fill. If you go to any paint store, Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams, anywhere like that, they have products that they will sell you. But I promise you, you put those on, they won't fill the grain that great, and they're incredibly hard to sand off. They take a long time, they cost a lot of money, and they just aren't that great. So I'm gonna show you the simple, easy method I use. Here's my big secret, and everybody freaks out at first when I tell them this. It's drywall mud. I literally use drywall mud. I typically use plus 3 by USG, but I have some dust control here, and for my purposes, they work exactly the same. Now I'm not putting drywall mud on the door. I'm gonna take a scoop of it. If you're doing a whole set of cabinets, you probably use at least a quart of mud. And for me, I just buy it by the gallon. Sometimes I'll get the 5 gallons because I'll use a lot. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and I wanna get this to about the consistency of paint. Now, you can see I've just got a little bit in there. And I'm just gonna mix this up. Nothing special. I just wanna be able to basically brush this on like a paint. I don't want it peanut butter. Peanut butter's too thick. I don't want it too thin. Somewhere in between. Slightly thicker than paint is a good way to put it. So about right here. Now that I got that mixed up, I'm gonna brush it on. And there's a few tips I'm gonna show you when I'm doing this. But I'm just gonna use an old brush, not something I'm using for cutting in ceilings, not my favorite brush or anything like that anymore. Just an old brush, and I'm just gonna really work it in everywhere on the door. Make sure we can see that here. Get it in the corners really well. Now, it may not feel like you're putting it on very thick, but you don't need to. And when it dries, it'll show a lot more. It almost goes on a little bit clear right now. And you really want to work it back and forth. A lot of enamels and stuff, you can overwork them. You don't want to overwork paints. This you want to overwork because you actually want to get it deep into that grain. You don't want to keep brushing it until it's dry, don't get me wrong. It can be overworked, but the odds of you doing that are slim. So you really just want to work it in there. And you don't want too much buildup. See how I got a whole bunch right in the, on the edge right here. That, we want to clean up before that dries. Otherwise, when you're sanding, you're going to have some regrets. Not that sanding this mud is that difficult, but it just slows the process down. If you've ever been unlucky enough to buy a grain filling product and actually try to use it, you know what I'm talking about. When you go to sand, A lot of those grain fillers that you go to buy are incredibly difficult to sand. They're going to really give your elbow strength and arm strength a run for their money when you're sanding out a whole set of kitchen cabinets that you put an awful grain filler on that just sands rock hard. So now that I've got the mud on everywhere, I'm not worried about these flat areas. They're going to be easy to sand. The areas I'm worried about are right in here, the grooves. This one doesn't have too many grooves. This is just a cabinet door I bought at Menards to show an example here. But I'm still going to try to get my brush into the corners and kind of pull that mud out of the edges here, just to save me a little bit of time when I'm sanding. Because when I'm sanding, you're going to have to use sharp-edged sanding sponges, and as soon as those edges start to get shot, you won't be able to get into these corners anymore. And if you can't get into the corners, you need to get a new sanding sponge. You'll just go through more sanding sponges, more work. I'm just trying to save you a little bit of time. But all you need to do is kind of use your brush to pull that extra mud out. And that's all there is to putting the mud on. This is simple. Now we're going to sit and let it dry, and while it dries, I'm just going to explain a little bit more of the process to you. Once this dries, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to sand. I don't want to over sand anything. I want to sand it just enough to get all that surface stuff off, and you will see once I'm done sanding how much of this is left behind in the grain. Now sometimes you'll get some really deep grain oak, sometimes not so much, it'll be a little bit more tight grain. And this works whether it's brand new wood, raw wood, or if it's been stained and clear coated. If it's been stained and clear coated, you know, existing cabinets, I'm gonna clean them all. I'm gonna wash them. Usually I put a little bit of Dawn soap in some warm water, and I'll wash all the cabinets to get the grease off. And then I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna lightly sand everything. That just breaks that glossy surface down so that everything I put on after that can bond. The mud can bond, the primer coat can bond, everything can bond. So I'm gonna wash them, I'm gonna sand them down, I'm gonna put on the grain filler. Then after the grain filler, I'm gonna sand them down, I'm gonna vacuum them up really good, and then put on my primer coat, which on this, I'm gonna be using Insulex Sticks primer. It's a great primer. My #1 primer of choice is Zinsser Smart Prime. Absolutely wonderful product. I love it. So I am gonna put some air on this, get it to dry a little bit faster so that we can speed things up. Everything is now dried. I put the fan on this for a little while. And you can see the whole thing got a lot whiter as it all sat here. There was more product on here than probably realized during this. So now I'm just gonna go around and I'm gonna lightly sand everything. Typically I do like to start in the edges. Get those all cleaned out first. I like to do that first because sometimes sanding the corners of my sanding sponge will start to get worn down after a little while. And while you're sanding this, you're gonna have to vacuum it off because the dust will start to build up and you won't be able to see what you've really sanded and what needs a little bit of extra work while you're sanding. So just keep that in mind. Now our goal isn't to sand off everything. We just want to sand it down until that top layer of mud comes off, and then we'll see it kind of being left behind in just the grain. Alright, now I did the first round of sanding. Now it's time to really check everything over carefully. I'm going to look for any places that need a little extra sanding, like right in here. Where else? This corner needs a little bit more. Could use a little bit more right on here. Let's go ahead and do that. Usually when you're doing this, it's mainly all about sanding in the corners and just making sure those corners get cleaned out good. Anything you leave behind in those corners just gonna kind of be junk when you're spraying over. You just don't want to have the corners all full of gobs of mud. Now the beauty of this drywall mud grain filler is that it sands really easy. As you notice, I didn't have to overwork it. I'm just using a fine sanding sponge. It's a 3M sanding sponge, any Home Depot, painting store, Ace, Lowe's, anywhere. And I like to use fine. The medium is great for before you start working, when you're sanding the cabinets down before you've applied the mud filler. But once I've done the filler, the medium grit sanding sponges tend to leave too deep of scratches. I don't like using it for after the mud. I don't like using it after the primer, and definitely not between the top coats. I always go with fine, and between the two top coats, I do like to go extra fine. That just makes sure that no scratches make it through to the final finish. So let's vacuum this off one more time. One thing to note is that a brush attachment for your shop vac works really well, because you can really use those bristles to clean out the corners, really work them in there and get any dust that kind of got stuck in the corners of the cabinet. You can really get those cleaned right off. So now we've done the grain filler and the door is ready for prime. If we look at this closely, you can see how much of that really stayed in the grain. I've got lots of pictures of kitchen cabinets I've done on my website. You can check out DIYpaintingtips.com. This leaves an incredible looking finish, no grain issues whatsoever. The next step I would do is I'd go ahead and I would prime with either, I love Sticks, it's a great product, or as I have mentioned many times, Zinsser Smart Prime. It's a hybrid primer. You can read all about that on DIY Painting Tips, but that is my favorite primer right now. Even after you prime, if you're using these water-based primers, they're great, absolutely great. But they do allow the tannins of the oak to sometimes bleed through. So I keep a can of Kills oil-based original on hand. You could spray your entire cabinets with oil, but that's a lot of VOCs and a lot of stink just coming off in your house. My clients don't like it, and I don't like subjecting myself to that. It's not good for you, it's not good for your clients, it's not good for nothing. Not good for the environment, but it does seal in really well. So I like to prime everything with the water base like Sticks or Zinsser, and then just spot prime any stains that bled through. So after I prime everything, I'll go around with a can of Kills and just shoot the little spots all around the kitchen. Usually 10, 20 little spots, half a can of oil-based primer versus a gallon of oil-based primer. Make sure to check back here at the end of August. I'm doing a huge kitchen. We're gonna document everything. We're gonna show you how we prep the kitchen, how we prime the cabinets, how we spray our top coat. We're gonna be giving away tons of information in there. The homeowner has agreed to let us film the entire thing, so it should be a lot of fun. Well, hopefully you learned how to fill the grain on your oak cabinets, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the little notification button, and subscribe below so you don't miss any future painting videos.